If you are an engineer yourself, most likely you are an introvert, which means you like to spend time with yourself. Communication involves two or more people, and it's the opposite of spending time with yourself. No matter it's face-to-face communication, phone conversation, or email communication. So you have to step out of your comfort zone as an introvert or as an engineer. Introvert has its own advantages when compared to understand the problem deeper and some of the analytical skills, which is crucial to engineering positions. What I'm trying to tell you is that if you are an engineer and you can improve your communication skill, it will dramatically improve your career success. So why is that the case? First of all, as an engineer, you are trying to solve problems. If you can communicate well with people, you can understand the problems well. Have you ever experienced that because of lack of communication up front, you thought you know the problem statement, so you start to prototype and develop some solutions for the problem. Until all the hard work is being done, eventually you find out the problem stated is wrong. Actually, the customer is having another problem instead of one you are solving, which means it wastes a lot of your and your team's time. So that's the first reason why communication is important for engineers. You need to communicate well upfront you start solving problem to get a clear understanding about the problem statement. The second reason that the communication is important for engineers is because we have to propose our ideas and get funding to start our project. How do you make sure you get funding? Through communication. You have to clearly articulate your proposals. Sometimes you need to list out the pros and cons of your proposals compared with others. If you can communicate well, that means you have higher chance to secure funds for your project. The next reason you want to improve your communication skill as an engineer is that you might want to get promoted or you want to expand your responsibilities. In that case, your boss, your manager might want to see more of your communication skill, especially presenting to executives. If you can increase your visibility by making a clear presentation, then you have better chance to get promoted to the next level. In those presentations, you have to deliver a clear and concise message. Sometimes you need to craft a story. You need to tell a story instead of just explain the facts and data. The number 4 reason that you need to think about improve your communication skill as an engineer is that, to be honest with you, nowadays, no matter what work you do as an engineer, you still spend quite a lot of time with your cross-functional teams. Without proper communication to your peers, it's hard to maintain a good relationship with them, which could lead to a lack of support or a failure of a project. So now you understand the importance of communication skill as an engineer. So how do you actually improve it? I recommend first, try to speak up whenever you have a chance. For example, in a big meeting, if people talk about the specific subject or the task you are doing, do not just sit in a corner and keep your mouth shut. Force yourself to speak up, to tell people what you did. You can explain some of the difficulties you had. You can explain what's the result you got. No matter what it is, just speak up about the things that you already know. Tip number 2, get out of the weeds of just data dumping. First few years of my career, I did a lot of data dumping in my presentation, in my slides, because that's all I got. I spent hours in the lab, I collect data. Then, you know what? People's reaction, they start to question the reliability of the data, the accuracy of the data. Sometimes you just frustrated and you start to defend the importance of the data, but forgets to look at the overall picture. Sometimes data is useless because you are solving the wrong problem. So definitely start to understand the big picture and deliver a clear and concise message instead of data dumping. Tip number 3, write effective emails. So nowadays, a huge portion of our communication happens through email. I have received email from colleagues that's few pages long that I even don't want to look at it. There's a famous quote from Mark Twain. I didn't have time to write you a short letter, so I write you a long one. Because you don't spend time to really refine and to clear your mind, so you write a long story, which is not very concise, and because in your mind, your logic is not there. So I really encourage you, spend a little bit more time to understand what you really want to get out of that email and try to write a concise and compelling email to your colleagues. The last and a bonus tip for you is nonviolent communication skill. Nowadays, I use it a lot in my work and also in my personal life. So how the structure works, basically you need to follow this step by step. The first step is to observe, gather the information. Whenever you want to communicate with someone or write an email, you need to have some facts. You need to gather those details. The second step is to state those facts based on your observations. At this stage, don't express your emotions. Don't label others. Don't finger point. Just state the facts. For example, if someone is late for your meeting, you can say, hey John, I noticed that yesterday I have a meeting at 10 o'clock, but you were not showing up until 10:30. The third step is to express your feelings. Once you have stated the facts, you want to let the other know that how the facts is affecting your feelings. You can say something that, John, because you are late, I feel like you are unappreciative of my meetings. Express your feelings directly. Don't labeling others saying, oh, you're always late for my meeting or you're always lazy. Don't label anything. Just express your feelings. Those feelings can be, I was feel hurt, I was feel unworthy, I was feel unappreciated, I was feel unsupported. Something like that. You want the other person to know that your underlying needs is not being met by expressing those feelings. Then the last step is to make a firm request. You can tell, hey John, for my next meeting, can you show up on time? So if you follow this kind of structure, I guarantee you will see different results. Okay, this concludes what I want to share with you today. If you like this content, please don't hesitate to click the like button and share. Please consider subscribe because I will upload similar content each and every week. Thanks for watching. See you next one.